Welcome back to the regular exclusive podcast. We talked about it a little bit last week, but we're still excited about it because we just got a new trailer, the official trailer for Backrooms, and it looks pretty epic. Renee, have you ever watched the have you ever watched the Backrooms, like the original
Yeah.
YouTube series?
Oh yeah. I've gotten lost in there a few times.
I need to go back and rewatch those.
Me too.
I've played like several games that are like using the
Inspired by it.
aesthetic of the Backrooms.
I'd be too scared. No way
They're
am I
pretty
doing that.
scary.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'd be
But
so stressed.
I just am so excited for this. It's crazy that this 16-year-old kid made this like found
Is he
footage
16?
when he made the Backrooms on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
He was 16 years old, and now just a couple years later, he's directing his story feature length with A24's money.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts. Also, I feel like when we talked about this from just like the teaser, I think I said that like I was disappointed that it didn't really have that found footage feel
Yeah.
because I felt like that was like a big element of the Backrooms. And so I feel like we can confirm after this trailer, there's found footage element. He's gonna be
Yeah.
recording it. And I was like, oh yeah, there we go. I mean, why would I not have faith in the guy who invented the thing to like do it right? But like I was just saying, I hadn't seen it yet, so I'd like to see, some found footage. So I'm happy to see that element in the trailer.
It it looks really good, and the thing that I like is that it looks like it's not just redoing the original story, because like in the back rooms, people just kind of like fall into them, and then they're just kind of stuck there.
There's not like a connected overarching story, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
there is a an overarching story. Like there's a bunch of like hints as to like them being
Ah,
connected, but they're all the like episodes are all out of order. So it's like you kind of have to put them together. But yeah,
damn.
this looks very different. And like this guy finds a way in, and he just keeps going and just keeps exploring.
Yeah, it sounds pretty crazy. The fact that he keeps going back there, like, I love the like tying the rope around and like going
Hmm.
through because that's like such just a. I love when they do that in a movie. It's always a good time. But I love how it's like in a furniture showroom. It's like where it
Hmm.
looks like that's where the doorway appears. And I'm like, this feels very apt. Unless it was like a, office building, I guess. But like it feels like it should be something that's not an office building for this place to like be behind it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just excited about it. I think like the small cast that they have in the movie looks great.
Hmm.
Um Chiwetel Ejiofor,
Hmm.
I believe, and Renate Reensva. Ah, fuck if I know. I can't pronounce that last name. Reensva.
Is what's she from? She looks very.
Sentimental Value. She was like the
Oh, okay.
main
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and then Mark Duplass is in it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
We
was just looking on IMDb. I don't even. Oh, there he is. Okay. It's like the cast is so small for this movie. There's like 10 people, and the only person on IMDb who has a name for their character is just heavy set man.
Yeah.
Nervous. That makes me nervous.
And then Lukita Maxwell, she's from Shrinking, which is like one of my favorite
Oh,
shows
cool.
right now. She's really good. So, yeah, this looks really interesting. I don't know, this is probably the movie I've been most excited for. I I feel like since I heard that they were doing it and that Kane Parsons was running it back, I have high hopes, and
I do too.
it's gonna be great. And
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, this kind of reminds me of that other YouTube story, cereal, milk and cereal, but
Yeah.
they're not doing a feature length of that. But that guy's having a movie coming out the same month.
Yeah.
It's getting cool.
It's getting
Who know
spooky out here in the
who
summer.
knows
I love this.
who knows what YouTube's gonna bring us next? But
Hey, that's where we need to be, I guess.
well, let's take a little break and then get into, is this thing on?
Nice.
15 buck cover.
To get a drink?
Hey, yeah,
How come she didn't have to pay $15?
she signed up for the open mic.
Look at me. I kind of look like the guy who tells you the Ferris wheel doesn't work at the amusement park.
I gotta date better men. My ex wouldn't let me touch his Magic the Gathering cards.
I'm gonna shake it up tonight. So let's put your hands together for Alex Novak.
I think I'm getting a divorce. What tipped me off was that I'm living in an apartment on my own, and my wife and kids don't live there. That was probably the biggest clue.
What is the problem?
I don't know, it's complicated.
You don't have to tell me that.
I guess we just slowly grew away from each other.
You two have always been very different.
And you and Dad are twins?
Your father is an immigrant to this country.
I know that.
And I've always been a woman who wants the taste of the exotic.
Jesus, Mom.
Why are you doing stand-up?
Getting a divorce.
You cheated.
No.
You didn't cheat and you get a divorce? Oh, that's some white guy shit.
I've been doing stand-up. This is like a hobby. Well, I'm not about to quit my job and go on tour. It's just it's something I look forward to.
Hey, listen, do you mind if I drop them off here for a couple hours?
Don't ambush me like this in front of the boys. You suck.
You suck.
Give it up for me, I'm doing great. I'm paying rent on a shitty apartment and mortgage for a house that I don't even live in anymore.
So I'm the only one who doesn't know about this?
I have goals this year I want to achieve. Do you have goals, Dad?
Oh, of course I do.
You knew I was struggling. You left me alone.
I left you alone? You checked out? I was unhappy in our marriage. I wasn't unhappy with our marriage.
Man, I wish I had a punchline.
What I like about you is you're so innocent. You're not naive, you're innocent.
You are good. I mean, you're bad at stand-up, but you're good. You have a good heart.
All right, let's talk about Is This Thing On? Bradley Cooper's third movie in his directing career. And this was a really interesting one. This one surprised me. You and I both went out on a limb and we're like, neither of us has seen this. Let's
Live on the wild side.
let's give it a try. Don't make us regret this, Bradley. And he didn't. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't see Maestro, but I take your review as like probably how I'd feel about it. I'll probably watch it one day. I just have no interest in it. I don't know, but
he gets an A for effort because he really tried. He tried a little too hard, but
that's the thing. But I thought A Star Is Born was incredible. I loved that. It was so good.
A big fan of A Star Is Born, and this, like my letterbox review for this movie was a stand-up comic is born. Like,
yeah,
because this kind of felt like he was kind of going back to that a little bit, you know, like Maestro was this very like big biopic sort of
Oscar
thing.
swing, big swing.
Yeah, and this one felt like he went back very small, very intimate, and like A Star Is Born is about like, you know, being a big pop star or country star or whatever, but like it's still a very intimate movie. And so this kind of felt like it was going back. And then also I love that he stepped back, wasn't the lead. Like Lady Gaga is the lead of Star Is Born. He's a good supporting actor. So I like that he went back to that in this.
Yeah, this might be my favorite of his characters. We'll talk about in a minute. I'm sure Balls is probably number one. And the best part is that his characters' names, like someone listed them out on Reddit. They were like his character names in all of his movies he's directed: Jackson Maine, Leonard Bernstein, Balls. No last name, no first name, just Balls, one name. Love it though. Balls is probably the best character ever invented, but we'll get to that. I will say I think he might be like, I definitely think you're right. He's dialing it back. Very intimate, this movie, the way it's shot. Like I love it because Bradley Cooper was like the DP for like a lot of the stuff. So it's like him just like in Will Arnett's face, basically like filming like all the scenes on stage where you're so close to him. I just want to see the behind the scenes because like
Yeah.
it's gotta be great. Because he's like in his fucking face with that camera, and that they said that they used the same lens for the whole movie. He just moved closer or further back depending on the shot,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
That had to have been a little chaotic with some of those scenes because like it felt like they were shot like in the Comedy Cellar, like
Yeah,
just
they were.
close quarters, slammed together.
I wonder what it was like for the audience member when I was watching that. Because I was like, if you're there, like watching this as the audience, or maybe they add those in as CGI afterwards, who the fuck knows? But I was like, if they're like sitting there watching this, so like you can't even see this guy's face because Bradley Cooper's just doing 360 spins around him like the whole time, getting all these crazy shots. Like I would love to see that. Honestly, that would be what I'd want to be going for.
It's
But
like
it's just to see Bradley doing his fucking crazy thing because he's still, as much as this is like him pulling back, he doesn't know how to not go hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's still going hard as fuck out of an indie film, which I feel like is pretty great. I love that he's still doing that. He's not too try-hardy for the Oscar. This was very much not like an awards movie, but like I do think it should have been in contention for stuff because I actually am glad we watched this. I really enjoyed it. And I think he's kind of doing a different type of movie every time and doing a different almost genre a little bit. And I think that's interesting. I think that's good for him. I like directors like we were just talking about, like Yorgos Lanthimos doesn't really always make the same movie, or Bong Joon-ho, but like they just do different genres maybe, but like, or maybe Yorgos Lanthimos is always just in that fucking abstract A24 kind of a vibe. But I feel like Bong Joon-ho we've talked about is like he always is in a different genre, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this feels like Bradley Cooper's going that way with like trying different things every single time he's directing right now, which I
Yeah.
think is the best way to learn. And he's learned from some of the best, I feel like, because like he started directing after I think he worked with Clint Eastwood. He was like, I think I can direct too. I was like, damn, all right, maybe someone's feeling a little cocky, and maybe that continued. So
When I was watching this, I wondered if the main reason he didn't lead this movie was because he's like, I spent 7 years learning how to be a maestro for the movie Maestro, and he's like,
and he spent however many years learning guitar and how to sing and change his voice to sound like fucking Sam. What's his face? Yeah, in that movie, Sam Elliott. Thank you.
Yeah.
God, I could not
But it's
remember
like,
his name.
I wonder if Bradley Cooper's just like, I don't know if I can emotionally handle bombing at stand-up comedy.
Yeah, like he's
for
like, I'm not
years
going
just
to
to
this.
just
No.
to get in there.
Well, that's the thing, because I think I saw that like Will Arnett, it said in the trivia he did like a few weeks of like stand-up comedy to prepare, which makes sense because he's not supposed to be like a pro, right? But I'm like, Bradley Cooper would have been doing it for like 3 years to like bomb and like see how that feels. So it's like probably right. I honestly really just think he nailed it with the character in this. This was the best character he's ever played in his life. I'm ready to say it.
You talking about balls?
From his introduction to just every fucking thing about him. Like the introduction of him, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? He just face plants through the door on top of a carton of oat milk that explodes everywhere. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, God.
Then the way that he cleans it by using the entire paper towel roll, dropping it, and then using his foot to drag that around. And he's like, am I doing this wrong? I don't know.
I felt like he was like, that balls is inspired by the Big Lebowski, like the dude.
Totally.
Like,
but it also feels like he has some of those like actor eccentricities. I think that's the word I'm going for. That feels like Bradley Cooper has a little bit, where he's like, but this guy is like a really unsuccessful version of Bradley Cooper, where he's like, you know, I've been called back 3 times for like a rancher on this Western show. And then it's like, Jesus. Like, and he's just so into it. He's like, I don't think, you know, I can't tell you. It's not my choice when the character leaves me or whatever. When he's like still looking like the disciple of Christ or whatever. It's just so funny. Every little thing about him. He just really, I think for both of us, anything that we were kind of making fun of him before, I'd like to take it back. I don't know about you, but I would say, Bradley Cooper, don't stop trying. You're fucking great.
Yeah, this reminded me how funny he is, like, and how good he is at it. Like, my favorite line from Balls, I think, was when they're at the kid's like birthday party and he's holding the dog and he's like, I think I took too much
Oh yeah, the
of the weed.
edibles.
I didn't realize I was holding the dog.
When
Like,
he walked in, yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is amazing. It's like, I didn't realize I was holding the dog. That was
or like
also one of the best moments.
or like when Will Arnett tells him that he's doing stand up and he thinks that like he's got a girlfriend or something. He's like fucking around. And he's like, no, I'm doing stand up. He's like, I don't know who that is. That's a crazy name.
He goes, is that her handle? I think it's what he says. He goes, I don't know who that
That's
is.
a crazy handle.
name." Yeah, that's a crazy handle. I'm like, what the fuck? It's so funny. Also, just like his line towards the end of being like, I'm confused most of the time. So I think that's okay. Like, it's okay to be confused. And that guy I love how he's like even talking about how the wife's all like, yeah, you should totally go if they want your character back. And he's like, do you think maybe that she just wants you out of the house? And he's like, oh no, she'd come with me. It's like he just totally forgot the whole thing of being like so casual about like, yeah, we're going to get divorced. Like earlier, like when they had talked previously. Just fucking great shit. Honestly, he really delivered. And I think like in the supporting role, he nailed it because every time he was on screen, he just like lit up everything. And I was like, every time he wasn't on screen, I was kind of like, I kind of wish Balls was here.
Yeah.
I hope Balls shows up at some point. And every time when he comes out of the fucking darkness,
Yeah.
he's like, you're not gonna ask me what I was up to, just coming out of the fucking darkness like that.
It was very refreshing for
Yeah.
for me watching Bradley Cooper because
Yeah.
he's been very serious for a while. So like,
Yes,
watch this,
he
I was
needed
like,
to take himself not seriously.
This is great. I love this, and I hope he keeps
100%.
going with it.
I hope it's not like how I feel like when I saw Guardians 3 and I was like, oh, this is the Chris Pratt that we miss. It's like the fun Chris Pratt who's making jokes and like action, but like fun and enjoyable. And he's done outside of the Super Mario movies where he's playing Mario. So I don't think that counts. I don't think he really has nailed it in that regard. He's still doing the serious shit. So I hope this isn't a blip because Bradley, although, do a horror film. I'm fucking here. But maybe like a comedy horror, I think he could really nail, right?
He would be good. And
he would be so good.
I think Chris Pratt is officially ruined in my mind after watching that movie he did earlier this year, Mercy.
The one that's like pro AI.
The AI propaganda film. I'm just like,
it's like the one that AI made to propagate itself. It's like everything that the fucking movie from last week, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, was telling us not to do.
A little bit. Just ending a movie with humans make mistakes, AI makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, that's not what this is about.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, this was also like a really interesting sort of like movie. It made me think of Marriage Story, that Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, but like that's a toxic relationship, and this was like, it felt like I don't know, like a maybe not realistic because there are really bad divorces that happen, but like the divorces where it's like you have kids, you have
but
all
you
these
still
things,
remain friendly and stuff.
Yeah, it is like you just kind of grow apart, and so it's not this like loud divorce. It's kind of like, let's deal with this. Let's not make this traumatic for the kids.
How they're being so considerate about everything
like,
at the beginning.
And I just thought it was really interesting, and like how from like the beginning of the movie, it just kicks off with like, it's very clear that they're having problems, but it's not this big thing. And I also was like, this feels like a millennial relationship because they're like doing edibles together and like,
yeah, I know they just like do that at the fucking train station. I was like, and then he just got off the train, and I was like, Nolan's like, why did he do that? And I'm like, fuck if I know. But that's how he ends up like starting the movie plot. So maybe that's why he had to. But I don't remember.
Like forgot something on the bench, and that's why he got up.
Maybe he did, but maybe who fucking knows? You'll never know. Although we could just rewatch it. But I think like, well, yeah, no. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I mean,
I
I
don't have
was
anything
just
to
gonna
add
say,
to that.
I was just gonna, then it leads to, the first stand-up scene. And I don't, this also reminded me of like A Star is Born in the sense of like you have someone who is really funny. He's known for being funny. And I don't know if Will Arnett has done stand-up. I kind of assume that all comedic actors have done stand-up. But
I think he just did it for the first time.
wow. Well, like
I know. I
I
would
was
have assumed that too.
I was thinking about like Lady Gaga and how like she had to like act like she wasn't amazing at this thing. Like she had to
Yeah.
act insecure and like go back
Hmm.
into that moment. And so I kind of felt like it was a similar thing of like Will Arnett. Like Will Arnett knows how to get up in front of a crowd and just lay it down. But then like he does that first one and he's so awkward and like fumbling around, but then like he hits these spots that work, and
Hmm.
you just kind of see his face like kind of light up to the whole thing. And I thought it was really good. I loved how Bradley Cooper just put the camera in his face.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm saying. But he also like I heard this on the Guillermo del Toro and him had that like directors on
mhm,
directors chat on YouTube. And he talked about like Guillermo was like, I noticed like the whole first bit of the movie, you only see him from the profile side. Like you only see him from the side, never
mhm.
straight on until he's on stage and he says, I'm getting a divorce. And that's when the camera finally comes over and looks him straight and he looks you, the camera, straight in the eye. But I didn't realize, I forgot about that initially when we started it. And then I was like, oh, wait. And then I
I didn't realize
remembered,
that.
yeah, so it's a cool thing. If you didn't catch it, I would go back and check it out because I had to rewind as well, and it was cool because I'm like, that's just something that like you don't really notice, but it is like I love that as a way to introduce the character,
Hmm.
and for like I'm getting a divorce to be the first thing that you're gonna hear from this guy, like straight from the horse's mouth, not to be too much of a pun because he played BoJack Horseman on the Netflix show, but
Yeah. But yeah, like it was really effective, and like it's uncomfortable just like being up in somebody's face like that. But I don't know, it made me feel kind of like that's what he's experiencing. Like he's uncomfortable with like being on stage and like
yeah,
not
really
knowing
put
what to
you in his
do.
shoes. Like
It
you're
was
up there with him and as well, so like anything happening to him, it feels like it's happening to you too. It's a great way to make you feel like you're literally on like doing the same thing as him. And I just thought it was like Will Arnett was the perfect guy for this role. I was gonna ask you if you thought anybody else could play him, but like I really think Will Arnett was so good and that he really delivered in a lot of ways that like I didn't know he was fully capable of.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I love him on the Smart List podcast. Don't get me wrong, but and I love that like he's just so fucking funny on that show. But
Yeah.
like this was him doing other things besides just being fucking hilarious or creepy, which he's been before.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like when you think about like BoJack Horseman, like that's a really like fun dumb show, but that show also like has a lot of depth,
Yeah,
and you're kind of distracted by the insanity of it all. But like Will Arnett is it is vocal performance, like he's really going to those places of like insecurity and vanity and all this stuff. And in this, yeah, you get to see him do it like in live action. And like it's one of my favorite things about this movie is like you kind of see how comedians like use comedy for their own form of like therapy almost. Like how they get to like talk through the stuff that's happening in their lives.
1,000%.
And I thought that was
Literally,
so interesting and like unique and cool. And I love that Bradley Cooper like was able to tap into that, you know.
yes. I noticed that too, and I was honestly shocked that when I went to Letterbox that like the top review wasn't like men will literally do anything before they go to like they'll do stand-up comedy before they go to therapy. Because literally that's what he does in this movie. That will just have to be my review, so don't take it, people. I might have to do it right now just to secure it. But there was also just while I'm on the Letterbox moment, and because we're talking about Will Arnett, two really great comments or reviews I had to point out was someone said a fun thing to do is close your eyes and imagine Lego Batman is doing opening night at the Comedy Cellar. And I was like, that's actually pretty great. And then this one, which I have to agree with, was finally a director who appreciates Will Arnett's raw sexual magnetism the way I do. Weird that it's Bradley Cooper. Which absolutely. But I was like, why is he so sexy in this movie?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
hot, I guess, like Laura Dern says.
Well, and he has that whole like joke that he's working on about how men have just been like men are convincing people that not taking care of yourself is hot, like dad bods and not shaving and it's like the less we do, the hotter we get. The con is working. But to answer your question though about if there's anyone else that I think could do this, this would be a hard one because you really have to balance the comedy and like kind of the emotional state of someone who's going through this stuff. And
they can't be too good at it or like expert enough. Like it couldn't be like literally like a Ricky Gervais or something where you're like, that wouldn't work because he's such a fucking like he owns the stage. Like it'd be too obvious. Maybe, I mean, he's a great actor. I'm sure he could do it. But I like the fact that Will Arnett is like technically in comedy, but like he doesn't scream like stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But like I would have assumed he would have had experience. And maybe he did a little bit, but like he really, it sounded like he didn't.
The first person that kind of pops to my mind that I think could do this, and he's not really an actor, he's a stand-up comedian, but is Mike Birbiglia. He's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. I forgot you love him. He would actually be perfect because he looks like such the everyman.
Yeah, and all of his stand-up is extremely therapeutic. Like he talks about very personal things in his stand-up. And so like the way that Will Arnett kind of weaves in and out of that through this, it just reminded me of that. But I don't know if I think Will Arnett is perfect. Like he was an incredible casting for this.
Even if it was him as Lego Batman, I'm still all in. Like I think he could pull it off. Like he's really great in a different, like he's not even like, it's not because he's so overly funny, but he just like he's perfect. Like I think he really nails it in a certain way that I feel like if you had the wrong person in this movie, it just doesn't work. Like I love Bradley Cooper. If he tried to do this, it might be too bad. Like you were saying, like, ooh, that's not gonna work.
Well, and I think like someone in the movie I think describes it perfectly. They're like, you're not good at this, but like you're really innocent. Like
yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about it on Reddit too. They were like, I love the representation of the comedy community in the movie because like they're all so supportive of each other and they just want each other to succeed. Yeah. And they were like, that's really how it is, especially in New York. And I was like, I just really love that.
Mm-hmm. It's good. And yeah, and Will Arnett and Laura Dern, they are so good together. And yeah, like Will Arnett, he does a great job at the comedy stuff, but then he does so good at like the serious moments, like when they're fighting up at the attic, like they're like having their refling, like I'm having an affair with my ex, like it's like that whole thing. Yeah, but like like the fighting gets so serious and deep, and like both of them are just bouncing off of each other, and it's really, really good. And yeah, I was just very surprised with like how kind of into the whole story was, and like into their love story.
I really thought that their love story was like perfect. It felt to me like very realistic, but also like very, like you said, like the issues felt real, and it felt like it wasn't something that we've seen a ton, which is kind of like where it's not this horrible breakup of like somebody betraying someone or someone deciding to just like move out or whatever, change their life or who knows what, or someone dying. Like this is kind of different than your average like divorce thing. Usually it's pretty messy when it's in a movie, but like this feels like like you said, like kind of the opposite of the Marriage Story, where you're like, God, this thing's just an explosion, but it keeps exploding, but you're like, it's just building to a huge explosion. This felt like I was hoping, like in Marriage Story, you're like, yeah, I don't want them to get back together. They really should not be together. You know, I hope they work it out as divorced parents, but like, really should not get back together. But in this one, you're like, I really hope they could fucking work their shit out and get back together because I find them like so cute.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And like I was so glad that like when Peyton Manning of all people shows up for a date, that like she ends up still going home with him. And I was just like, that was probably I didn't even know that he was in this movie before. I feel like maybe I had heard this a long time ago and just totally forgot. So when he showed up, I was like, the fuck? Did we just walk into like a Nationwide commercial or whatever the fuck?
It was so funny. And like his whole bit talking about how great coaching is and all this stuff. I'm like,
I was like,
are you pep talking yourself? Like, are you trying to?
Did you write this monologue? He's like, I got it, guys. I want to say something. He's like, I got something therapeutic I'd like to work out. Maybe, honestly. I mean, it made sense what he was talking about with the coaching thing. So I was like, I mean, if he wasn't talking about a job that was in sports, I don't think he could have sold it to me.
Yeah.
You know? Like he had to be doing coaching sports. Made sense. I feel like that worked for me, but like again, I was also like, yeah, this does feel like a little bit too on the nose. Like maybe they wrote it specifically for Peyton Manning, but like if he didn't agree with it, I'd be like, I feel like he should be offended by it.
Yeah,
hey, this is not I don't need a pep talk, you know. I'm a fucking adult. I'm making plenty of bank. I'm commentating. People love my fucking voice. You're paying me for this movie.
Yeah, it would have been really weird if he came in and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a management consultant." Like,
right.
Like, oh, this is weird, but yeah, Laura Dern being a former athlete,
or like I'm in finance or whatever, like, or if he was like, you know, what does he say is like his worst, a surfing radiologist.
Oh yeah,
I love when he's talking about like when Will Arnett's talking about the worst possible scenario of like his wife dating a radiologist because like doctor, he's a good person probably, and also like makes a lot of money. And then it's like, or a surfer because they're just really cool. They don't care. They're always tan, all this stuff. He's like, or worst possible case would be a surfing radiologist. That is like what I was expecting her, like the guy that she met up with to be, honestly. I was like, that would be extra funny if it was exactly that type. When they were like, when he was like, let's go, I know a place around the corner. Did you already go, oh, I bet they're going to the fucking stand-up show that he's doing?
That was my first thought. And
yep.
I mean, kudos to Bradley Cooper because I thought that whole scene was done so good. Like the lead up, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna go. She's gonna be in the crowd. He's gonna talk about something.
Seriously, like the more it goes on, you're like, oh, this is gonna be really bad. Like at first, I was like, oh, this will be good, and then I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be extremely bad. And then I was like, oh, this could be horrible. And then it didn't actually turn out that bad, but. I didn't realize that this was actually based on a real life story. Did you know this?
I heard something that it was like, but it's like some guy in like England or something, right?
Yeah, so it says John Bishop, who met Will Arnett on a canal boat in Amsterdam, and he told him the story of how he got started in stand up, which was when he was going through a divorce. He started doing it randomly just for like because, and it ended up really helping him. And now he's still a comedian. But he also, I guess, the story of like his wife showing up and he did a whole bit about how he missed his wife is literally like actually true and from this guy's autobiography. But it says that his joke that he made on stage was that how he missed his wife so much that he kept her severed head in the fridge. And I was like, oh yeah, that would have been worse. But like that was fucking crazy. I was like, so I was shocked that that's what it's called. His book is called How Did This All Happen? If you want to look it up. But yeah, he's from Liverpool.
And that's a great story. Like,
yeah,
like what a random way to get into stand-up comedy. Like, especially
it literally feels like staged or like scripted just for a movie. Like this is exactly what would happen at the story beat. However, crazy that it's real.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, like that whole scene was so tense, and I'm like, oh yeah, like you're saying, like this is gonna end horribly. But then yeah, Will Arnett like drops the line. He's like, and it made me miss her weirdly, and it's like, oh, there's a vulnerability here, and then like you kind of see it on Laura Dern's face, like she's pissed, but also like she's kind of touched by the
Yeah.
vulnerability.
Hmm.
And then yeah, then they end up going home together. But like
I was so glad.
when the comedians are like, dude, that was ballsy performing that in front of your wife. He's like, what are you talking about?
Literally, I was like, oh boy, that is going to be good. That was a great way to tell him because he's like, what? Like, I got to go upstairs. I also loved the transition that they did because the stairs are just a great like shot every time. I feel like he's
Yeah.
either like going down them or just like running like towards the end. But the moment when he like runs down the stairs or wait, was it up the stairs? I forget, but either way, every time he does that, I'm just like, oh, I think it was after the fight in the attic. He runs
Mhm.
down the stairs because he's all mad, and then it transitions to him like down the stairs there and like coming out on stage. And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a nice little touch because I really enjoyed those like how he had the camera movement and stuff in those moments or like shifting whatever. I know that's just a Bradley Cooper touch. I just watched all the Saw movies again because they're all on Netflix. And that's something that they do like all the time.
Yeah.
That like, I don't know if you remember, but like it's like becomes like a real annoying thing that they do like a lot in the later sequels because they're like, this is all we got.
Yeah.
And it's like that transition of like someone at the detective's office opening a door and then cutting to like Jigsaw's office and like someone else walking in.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's exactly what he did here, but I loved it because I'm like, well, it's not like he's overdoing it because of Saw, but I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it was I mean, yeah, the cinematography in this was really good and it definitely stood out. And I'm like, okay, Bradley. Okay. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I
But
like
it's like
it.
him, he must have been dressed as Balls doing the filming, is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like he's on set, he's filming scenes with him. So like he's got to be dressed as Balls doing that shit, which is just like I don't know how Will Arnett could keep his face together. Like especially all those times he's looking directly in the camera. Like he's got to be like this. He's got to be like inches from Bradley Cooper's face or the camera. Maybe you can't see him behind it, but like at least he could see that beard.
Yeah.
Or the stash. I love how he's always all about the facial hair.
Yeah. But yeah, so, yeah, and then the movie really kind of like goes down an emotional road with like like he tells that whole story of the surfer and the radiologist thing, but then like the kids find his journal
I know
and
that was like a crazy scene. It kind of went on for a while, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like they're
uh,
really diving into this.
yeah, they were like they like they're young and so they think that like they don't understand that they're jokes. They think that like that's what their mom is doing and it freaks him out. And like the way that he handles it, like as a father, and like she's like, life's weird, it it's
Like
like
he's like, they're like, Dad, that's weird. It's like life's weird, And it's like those stories that you guys make up. It's just like that. But it's
yeah,
like, man, they were reading about like all that different stuff about the sex, like
yeah,
specifically because that was the section. I did love the sons and like their reasoning for being like, but it was right there, Dad. It was right on your nightstand, right where we were sleeping. Like, you really expect us to not go in there? It's like it was right there. That they were really cute, those kids. So normally
yeah,
I'm like, fuck the kids, get them out of here. But like, I was like, damn. It also like agreed with this. This is a great moment. But like when we first see his apartment compared to like the house, which is so like warm and has like family vibes, right? And then when he goes back to his apartment and you see it for the first time, this review on Letterboxd is everything, but it was dad's like divorced dad's apartments are harrowing, and I agree. They really are. They add just something like chilling to the feature. Like when you see that, you're like, oh, and it's just like, I mean, he gets better there.
yeah,
Although there's the whole issue when he like blows up the photo of her from behind. I just love how everybody keeps pointing out something wrong with that photo. And he's like, huh, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, that is a man at all turns. It's like, I got an idea. I'm going to do it. But it's like, let me check with people first. Cause then the wife's mad. And he's like, I had no idea that you were going to get mad. Like, what?
yeah.
he's like, "Do you still want me to come upstairs?" And she's like, "Oh my God." I love how they're like keeping it, their whole little affair that they have is like they're keeping it a secret from like their friends and like the kids and like everybody.
It's exciting.
Yeah. I was like, honestly, it was like it kind of seemed a little fun. And then I really like I feel like just the love, it was a real beautiful love story overall, even though it was like technically a divorce movie and he's like having a midlife crisis. His parents also we have to shout out because
Oh
one of
yeah.
them was the king of the north on Game of Thrones. Um, but they were hilarious when the mom was like, well, because she was talking about how like some people are just like meant for each other, made for each other, because she's like, well, your father's an immigrant, and as you know, I've always been a woman who's had a taste for the exotic. It's like, mom, why are you saying these things?
Well,
It's like, good God. And she was just hilarious, all of her little like advice and like all the things. Like when she was on the phone with Laura Dern, and then it's like Laura Dern is like going on a run, and like the mom's like outside the house, and she's like, I just hate the phone.
yeah.
Like such like a fucking
Yeah.
just so great.
Well, then I love when Will Arnett crashes out on stage and like just totally bombs and freaks out. His dad's there.
Yes.
And the dad's like,
He's like, that's
"The
the first time he's coming to see him do comedy, and he just gets up there like, love is fucked. You're a vampire. I don't want it. Just screaming at people. I love his dad's reaction. He's trying to be so supportive.
yeah.
No idea what the fuck he just saw.
I love it. He's like, maybe next time try telling some more jokes. Like,
Yeah, because he's like, I didn't know what that was. Like you yelled at them pretty good. But I just thought it was great. And then he like kind of breaks down and cries. And then like just the whole thing of like there's not this big romantic movie moment of like, I mean, he does go to her to say stuff at the end, but it all just still feels like kind of something that like would happen in real life, and not that like I feel like if you were to do a divorce story where they get back together, you'd have like it could veer into being like a fairy tale kind of a thing, because you're like, how
yeah.
often does that fucking happen, right? But I felt like this did it in a very natural way where you're like, it didn't even really feel like because they don't even tell us why they're
Mhm.
separating, except for just like what we kind of hear from them, which is like they
They've-
just kind of drifted apart and they've been kind of alone. And so like you don't really feel like you don't really feel like you have a strong reason to feel like, oh, these people need to stay, or they don't give you enough throughout the rest of the movie, because like the only reason he has sex with anybody was just because like fucking he thought she was going on a date.
yeah.
And it's like, it's like those little things, but it's only because they care.
Well, yeah, and like they have that whole fight where they like keep going back and forth on like, I thought you were checked out. Well, I checked out because you were checked out. And it's like, yeah, there wasn't like some big thing that happened that split them up. And like I thought the ending of this, like I loved his like little speech. I thought it was actually really like
Really
interesting.
sweet.
Really sweet.
Maybe because we're old now that this is what it is for us, but like for some reason, I think as you get older, this becomes sweet. If you were to say this to like a 20-year-old girl, I I was unhappy in our relationship, but I wasn't unhappy with it. Like I want to be unhappy together. She'd be like, "Fuck that.
Well,
I want to be happy. I'm 20 years old. I still have my whole life." But as like someone who's like, 30s and above or mid 30s now, not
well,
40, but like for them, I feel like it feels like this feels like a way more like it does feel romantic to me still.
like I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm dumb, but like I thought that line was profound. Like where he said like I was unhappy in our marriage. I wasn't unhappy with our marriage.
Yeah.
Like
That's
and that
100%.
that made me think like, oh yeah, there's a real difference. And I wonder like how many people like kind of get those mixed up where like they're
Mhm.
just unhappy and then they blame their marriage
Yeah.
for them being unhappy.
Or it's
Yeah.
like if something's got to change, it feels like that's like the biggest thing that you could be like, all right, well, I'll change. Maybe that's it. It's the ball and chain that's weighing me down. It's not me, right?
Yeah.
And then they realize maybe, oh shit, no, I was unhappy. I agree. That was really profound. I feel like it's like something that's maybe unsaid in a lot of relationships. that like never gets said, or people just don't think about it that way. It's like weird. It's like a very simple statement, but it like unlocks something in your brain, I feel like, when you hear it. Because you're like, huh, like that's something so true. But it's like, I bet you nobody tells their spouse that every day. Like, even if I'm unhappy, I'm not unhappy with you. I'm unhappy with life, not
Yeah.
you. But it's like, that would be a good thing to specify. People, we should really think about always doing that, because it's like, if you're upset about something going on in life, sometimes it feels like you're taking it out on them, or even if you're not, but it's like, if they feel like you're upset, they think maybe you're upset because of them, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a simple thing, but it just goes to show how fucked relationships are, because it's so hard to communicate between the sexes. Or like, maybe it's easier if you're the same sex, but I feel like they probably have communication issues too. Everybody does, because every human being I've ever met fucking can't, like, everybody communicates differently.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, most of us at like younger than like 40 were like, don't fucking call me ever, which I think we can all agree on. But it's like, other ways of like, some people are really confrontational. Some people don't like to be confronted. There's all these different things. And I just feel like it's too much. I feel like this is just a really simple statement of like, this is very just something that like every relationship, I think, especially marriage, really should consider.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, so much of at least my childhood, it was like you kind of like you hold marriage to this like insane standard where it's like you get married and then you have your other half. Your life is whole now and everything's going to be great. And it's like maybe we shouldn't build it up that much. Like maybe like marriage should be a good thing, an
Right?
important thing, but we shouldn't make marriage this like all-encompassing cure-all for
I know
life.
that people always are trying to say people should get married and do that. It's like, no, people really shouldn't. You should do what you want to do, what is right
Yeah.
for you. Everybody's different. And I feel like that, like, the statement that he makes there, and then I feel like the one that Bradley Cooper makes that kind of like helps him realize it when he's like back from like wherever, Utah, wherever he was shooting that thing.
Mhm.
And he says, yeah, well, confused is good. I'm confused most of the time. I just like being confused with her. And I
Yeah.
was like, that also felt like a similar thing of like, I may not know what to do with my life in general, or what's going on out there in the world, which is very relatable. Not just because like I'm not dumb like balls, hopefully, but like I just feel like, the world every day is getting more unbelievable. So it feels like, yeah, I'd rather be confused with like, that's what you wanted to say. It's like, I'd rather be confused with my partner rather than like by
Yeah.
myself out there.
Yeah. I
And that's like very similar statement. Weird that, but Balls of all people gets a pretty nice. I mean, it's not as good as Will Arnett's, but that's a pretty good line for a character named Balls, I gotta say.
so now so now um now Bradley Cooper has done a movie about a very toxic, destructive relationship about with substance abuse, and then now he has this really wholesome, nice,
Yeah.
beautiful love
Hey,
story.
a Love Is Born, A Star Is Born. Don't get me mad now. In A Star Is Born, I feel like their relationship was so pure and sweet in the beginning. But yeah, he fucked it up every time he got wasted. But I'll tell you, him wasted at the Grammys is like probably one of the best film sequences of all time, I think. Along with
He went
anytime,
method. You know he
100%.
actually pissed himself for
I
sure.
bet at the real Grammys, I wouldn't be surprised. This is Bradley Cooper we're talking about, okay? He does the fucking thing. Like, if anybody does the damn thing, it's him. But I feel like he really just like, Balls of all characters is definitely going to be maybe his most iconic. I know The Hangover might be like technically what people would think of it now, or maybe like Stars Born, but like, as much as this relationship was way better than in A Star Is Born, him and Lady Gaga, that chemistry, don't deny it, right?
Oh yeah, it's great, and that's why it's so tragic when
Yeah.
everything goes down.
And it's obviously a toxic relationship because he's in substance abuse, but they did really love each other. So it's not like it was like, oh, the worst. Like he really upgraded from Lady Gaga. That was really all the point I wanted to make.
No,
Although Laura
not-
Dern is fucking incredible, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, not saying that at all. I'm just saying I like the the spectrum of Bradley Cooper that he's doing. He's not doing the same movie. There's one movie I did not like at all, but I respect how diverse he goes with his
Where do you think
style.
he's going next? Jace, give me a prediction. A
I
bold
don't know.
prediction.
I was going to ask you the same question, but I did want to say the one thing about this movie I did not like was the actual ending with that kid's performance. It was cute, but it was way too long. It should not have been the entire song. Like,
Under pressure. Yeah. He's like, hey, you know what it probably was? This fucking song costs so much to license. We're playing the whole goddamn thing. And it's like a, 5-minute song? So yeah, honestly, I was like, I don't care. The kids were not great, but whatever. I thought
Yeah.
it was cute. Their two sons were adorable. Like one of them was playing bass, and I was like, that thing's way too big for him. I love it. It's so cute. They were just both adorable.
So, but where Bradley Cooper goes next? So I think between this and A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper is good at artist stories.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done music. He's
Technically, Leonard Bernstein is the same thing.
Yeah,
he's an artist,
but it's a biopic, and
but it's still an artist.
This is kind of a biopic. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. This could be technically a biopic.
Okay,
Although I think it's like inspired by, less like a biopic. It's not like the rest of the story is true.
Yeah. So I would like for him to kind of stay in this avenue.
Dramedy? Rom-com? No. Romance? No. Musical?
I don't want him to do a rom-com.
I hated it as soon as I said musical. I take it back. What about horror, though? When I said that earlier, did your feelers go, oh, that could be good?
I'd like to see that, because I'm trying to think of what like artistic profession I would like to see him in. I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Oh, like he has to play an artist of some kind, or like
yeah,
that's
like
got to be the
he's
character.
done music, he's done stand up, like.
Dude, if he could design a new killer, like a serial killer. I guess he was kind of involved in the Joker movies. He produced those.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Todd Phillips. But I don't know. I feel like he could like come up with a cool villain for a horror film.
Yeah.
And probably a cool new POV or like cool interesting shot that could be like really great. We need something new in the genre now. We've got Scary Movie 6 this is going to be this episode will be airing already in April. So like it's going to be next month like that we get Scary Movie 6, right? That's also coming out in May, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
I feel like we've only got 1 month left before horror has to reset. So somebody's got to come up with something. Bradley Cooper, jump in while the fucking iron's hot.
Oh, here we go. Here's the
good.
idea.
Okay.
I would be curious to see him do an artist, like a Banksy style artist, like not totally graffiti, but like kind of like.
Oh no, Scary Movie 6 comes out June 5th. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
like a Banksy type personality. I think that would be a very.
That is really strange and specific. You mean like someone who's like a fucking? So they do like they literally spray. That's like the art that they do, graffiti shit.
Yeah, but like Banksy doesn't do like the giant murals. Banksy like is a very political. Like he spray paints. He does like sprays on top of other objects, and like it's all very like very very showy, but it has a message behind it. I just think that would be a very complex and interesting character, because I think Bradley Cooper.
I like that.
I think Bradley Cooper is good at
Damn
getting.
it, Jace! What a
getting
fucking
in the
original
heads.
suggestion! Jesus Christ! I had no idea what you were gonna come back with, but definitely never would have guessed that. That's a very good suggestion. You're like you say you're not creative, but hey, that was a fucking good idea. It took me about 45 minutes and maybe like a hit of some weed before I fucking came up with that idea. But I like that. That would be interesting. I feel like he could go. I mean, I honestly, he's done a horror movie before. If you've never seen The Midnight Meat Train, which sounds like a porno,
I
I'm
remember
telling
that
ya.
from high school.
It's actually not a bad movie,
I
but you're
never
also
watched
like,
it.
dude, calm down. Stop investigating this shit. It's fucked. Stop. And then it's like, oh, too late.
I remember in high school going to the movies and seeing the trailer and be like, this looks pretty intense. And then just Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah, I
And the
feel like I
whole
remember that
theater
too.
just started laughing.
Yep. It's a Clive Barker story. It's based on like a short story of his. So it's actually like a good story, probably, but it's like, fucking change the title. That is not going to work in the cinema. And that was before Bradley Cooper became famous. He's like the lead character of the movie.
Oh, here. Bradley Cooper horror movie that involves an artist, a style of movie that I could see him doing.
Oh boy, hit me with something obscure. Come on.
Remember from a couple of years ago that stop motion?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking about that movie the other day.
Like stop motion artists, like that would be an interesting head to get into.
Dude, he'd have to spend 10 years getting into that shit before he did it.
No, he can't.
You know him.
He can't star in it.
Okay,
he has to let someone else
okay.
be the lead.
All right.
He can do all the research.
He can be. I want Balls to be the character that's like his cinematic universe, and he's in
Spin-off.
every fucking one of his works. I don't care what the genre or the story is. Balls is a character. Couldn't you see it?
It's kind of like how everyone wanted a spin-off of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood of the movies that Leonardo DiCaprio was acting in.
Yeah.
We wanted the actual series. We want the whatever series Balls was filming before his character died off.
No, I want him to appear in whatever Bradley Cooper's next movie is. He just inserts the Balls into the script. I don't care how. He's just like, it's like his cinematic universe is only because of Balls. He's connected to everything.
Like that guy that's in all the Knives Out movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he has to keep the name Balls for everything.
Yeah, it's got to be Balls.
Or it's just like if maybe on one occasion he's Ball. I don't know. But I'm just spitballing here. See, my ideas aren't as creative yours. But either way, I think we're both like hyped for whatever Bradley Cooper and like honestly Will Arnett too, whatever they do next.
Yeah. Balls to the wall. All right. Well, I think at this point we can confirm that this thing is on and it's a jolly good time. Highly recommend.
We don't get the good like tapping sound on these mics, I feel like, because did you hear anything when I just tapped that?
I did not. Did you hear it when I did it earlier?
Barely. So I might need to do some sound effects or something.
Our stupid, nice microphones.
Yeah, they're not like the old ones that's shitty, but hey, at least we both tried. I also, while we're on this subject, before we transition to next week, I just had to mention this, that I saw this on Reddit, so I'm not crazy, but there's a scene in Is This Thing On where like there's no one else. I forget if it's Will Arnett watching this or what, but it's like one of their dogs. And it's like the toilet flushes, the bathroom door opens, the dog walks out, and then it's never mentioned again. And I was like, I totally forgot about that until I saw it on Reddit. So thank you, detailed viewers on Reddit, because they always catch everything. But I'm like, I need to go back and find this because I thought I was like, if not for that Reddit comment, I would have thought I was insane for sure. So I was like, did that? It was like the cat in fucking Meet the Parents. Craziness. Did you notice this?
I did not notice that. I must have looked away or something because none of that
it
is
was a
ringing
small
a
little
bell.
thing. They don't even mention it. So I have no idea what it really means, but either way, just a fun little thing. And I just found out that those are Bradley Cooper's dogs. So maybe they can use the toilet. Fuck if I know. Hollywood dogs probably, they probably all know how to use the toilet. I believe that.
Did that happen in his apartment or in the house?
I think it was in the house. So it made sense. It was like their domain.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
The dream.
I guess we'll have to rewatch it. I mean, if I could teach Augie how to use the bathroom, my God, it would be amazing.
I've seen for cats, they have like a thing that to train
the litter
your cat
box
on how to do it. I have really spent a lot of time thinking about it. I was like, this would be awesome just to walk in and my cat is using the toilet.
Make sure you flush. Don't you fucking forget it. That's the thing. I don't think Augie would ever flush.
No. Well, speaking of pets, we are going to make a big switch next week.
Nice.
This movie came out in January. We were both big fans of it, and we've been waiting for it to pop up somewhere. And unfortunately, it has to go to Paramount Plus. But there's other ways to get it. We're not going to encourage it, but we think you should look at it. But Renee, what are we watching?
We are going to be watching Primate, which is now streaming on Paramount Plus, like you said, and it's an incredible movie. I can't even describe it. Even if you weren't like super hyped on this concept, I feel like it would just win you over. It's just a very charming film, I feel like, for being about a killer pet monkey in 2026. Like, it seems like maybe that's a little dated, but it's kind of like Nope, but like the whole thing is the monkey scene. Like, that's what we said before, I think, to hype it up, and for real, that's what it is. So
yeah, this movie is a blast, but also like this movie is so good in that how they do the practical effects and everything. It's amazing in today's age that someone did it and they're like, hey, we can do this even better than we could before. And like
they really nailed that. It's like the practical effects were incredible, and also like the chimpanzee, you're just like, I did not buy that it wasn't real. For like, it's not obvious. It's really great. Like, the performance is really chilling it a lot of times. He really turns into a slasher, and it's amazing. Like a slasher villain. It's amazing. It's a secret slasher movie set in Hawaii, in a pool mostly, but hey, it's a good fucking time.
And it proves that guy in a suit for a monster movie is not dead. They do a lot of like Lord of the Rings, like forced aspect stuff that's really good. And I'm like, this is awesome. I hope other people like learn from this, and that like we don't have to CGI everything. We can do it. It's awesome.
I know. But now there's AI, so why would we bother thinking?
Very true. All right, well, that is it for this week. We'll see you next week on the regular exclusive podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're out here.